Agreed. Greetings and salutations.
The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
Hi, welcome back.
It's us, Nicole.
And Tessa.
And Kim is here.
Slappy, Slippy, Swinson,
Swinson.
Swanson, Samsonite.
That's it. She's Samsonite.
She's our briefcase full of IOUs.
Because it's Kim's birthday episode.
That's right.
And she chose Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber, 1994.
30 years of Dumb and Dumber.
I know.
Wow.
And this was a big year for Jim Carrey. Our second.
I know. We're making up for lost time.
We really are. We're covering a lot of ground. And this was the third hit movie he had that year outside of The Mask was one of them. And I think Ace Ventura
was the same year.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
So Jim Carrey was everywhere. After knocking on every door,
finally
after going
found-
to every audition.
After endless films that you guys have already covered.
Exactly, where we thought we surely must have done a Jim Carrey movie
But
by
no.
now.
Alas. But here's number two.
Number two.
Bringing you our number two, Jim Carrey.
Speaking of number two.
So starring
Right? Jim Carrey, speaking of, as Lloyd Christmas.
Jeff Daniels as Harry, was it Dunn?
Harry Dunn.
Dunn.
And that was his people were like, please don't do this movie. This is going to kill your career. Please don't do this movie. And he was like, no, I'm going to do this movie. If it's a mistake, it's my mistake to make. And it's like his most iconic.
And how close was this to 2 Days in the Valley?
Oh my God.
Such a different character.
Well, no,
It's
that
pretty
was
close,
96,
within 2 years.
wasn't that?
Yeah, within 2 years.
So
of this.
after he had done Dumb and Dumber,
he got to be the racist, gritty street
with the
cop.
angry red eyes,
Yes.
bloodshot angry eyes.
Lauren Holly as Mary Samsonite.
No, Swanson. And I had forgotten they got married.
Lauren Holly and Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I forgot they were married only for a year, but after this they got married.
Did not know that, or I forgot also.
You blocked it out.
I
from your
blocked it
memory.
out.
Well, it's like he was with Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, that's
Well,
right. I do
that
sort
was,
of
he was
remember
also with Jenny McCarthy. Well. We have Mike Starr as Mental.
I know. What is it? Mentalino is his last name? But he
Mentalino,
goes
Joe
by Mental.
Mentalino. I was like, I kept saying Joe, and then they were like Mental. I was like, oh yeah, it was Mental.
Mental.
Yes, man.
Karen Duffy from MTV as JP Shay.
In her second appearance as a character named Shay.
Weird.
I forget what the other one was, but she was also a Shay with a gun in that one too.
Charles Rocket, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Charles Rocket as Nicholas Andre.
Blank Check.
Oh yeah, Blank Check, where she made out with the child.
Oh God.
Was that
It was
the same year?
94.
They just
Weird.
carried her character over.
She's the same person.
Yeah.
Victoria Powell as Agent Jordan.
R.I.P. Terry Garr
As
as
Helen
Helen
Swanson.
Swanson.
Cam Neely as Seabass.
He's a hockey player.
yeah.
They were trying to get, who were they trying to get? It was I want to say a baseball player. And now I can't think
Had
of
to
who
be
it
an
was.
athlete for some reason.
But yeah, for some reason it had to be an athlete, and the other person couldn't do it. So they got a hockey player to do it.
The name was familiar. Cam
Yeah.
Neely, I knew I had heard.
Felton Perry as Detective Dale.
That's all I got.
Oh, I also have Lynn Shay.
Oh yeah, she wasn't
Because
in the main credits.
Robert
but yeah.
Shay is one of the producers.
Producers.
Just like in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Is that why Karen Duffy is Shay? JP Shay?
Oh, maybe.
It's like a
Maybe
nod to
it's
Lynn.
like a thing. But then also they wanted to have the Coreys
Really?
as Harry and Lloyd. But I guess this is just something I read. But Robert Shay was like, no, they're washed up. Dunzo.
Really?
They're
I
no
couldn't
longer
see the
bankable
Coreys
actors.
doing Dumb and Dumber.
No.
They took themselves a little too seriously.
A little
for that, I
too
think.
seriously. Oh,
Yeah.
well, Feldman does
For sure.
And your boyfriend Harlan Williams.
Yes, and your boyfriend Harlan Williams
In
is
his
in this.
film debut.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Wow.
My boyfriend, my beloved and betrothed. Harlan Williams, I know you're out there. And I know you're listening.
Tune in. And was there anybody else that you have?
No.
Okay.
Harlan Williams, my boyfriend Harlan Williams was the last one I got.
So we start with a limo.
Pulling up on Hope Street to a pretty lady.
An Austrian lady.
Yes.
Oh, Austrian.
Oh.
G'day, mate.
Let's throw another shrimp on the barbie.
And it's Lloyd, like he's riding in the limo, but alas,
Right. He's like, no, can
He
you
is
tell
the
me how to
driver.
get to the medical school?
Yeah.
I'm there to do a speech at the medical school. And she's like, no, I don't. Or no, she does. She was like, yeah, go on up this way. And he talks about putting another shrimp on the barbie. She's like, let's not. And he has to scramble back up.
to the driver's seat and drive away. Meanwhile, Harry and his what was the name of
The
it?
shaggin' wagon.
But I mean,
the
what did it
mutts
say
and
on the
cuts.
side? The mutts and
Mutts
cuts.
and cuts of Rhode Island.
And he's feeding these dogs like they're fast food. Like, how did
I
he get their
know.
order? He's
Right?
already ordered.
That's what I wondered.
He can
was
talk
like,
to
who's
dogs.
got the roast beef au jus? I'm like, me.
Right? I'll take any of those things.
I will have it.
And the tiny
Not
dog
the
ordered
big-
the foot long.
Yeah, right.
Stop messing around.
Come on, you're playing. And these are like unsecured
Just loose in a
show
van.
dogs, loose in a van show dogs. That they have hired mutts and cuts of Rhode Island.
And these poor dogs,
I know.
sliding around the back of this.
Well, because
van.
he gets a call like you were supposed to be at the show like 40
You're late.
minutes ago. So he's got to like step on it. And these poor dogs trying to eat.
So meanwhile, Lloyd arrives at his pickup, which is Mary.
Oh, well, it's this big old mansion.
Yes, and he's immediately love at first sight.
Oh, yes. That's exactly what I wrote.
And he goes to do the
banaka
banaka.
off the side.
But not at all. Like, you couldn't tell that didn't go in your mouth.
I
Lloyd?
know it like it stings a little bit. It's good.
And she's headed to Aspen. He's like,
Oh,
California.
California. Not quite.
He introduces himself as Lloyd Christmas, and she's Mary Swanson.
Right.
And he talks about how him and his friend Harry want to open a pet
I got
store.
worms.
And she's like, what?
What? That's what we're going to call it. I got worms.
We're gonna sell worm farms.
farms, like ant farms, but like with worms.
And he's talking, he's driving now, and he's trying to talk to her in the back seat, like not at all looking at the road.
He goes, well, what's the problem? Are you nervous about the flight? He's like, statistically, and he turns all the way around.
Yeah. You're more likely to die on the way to the airport.
And
than on
all
the
this
plane.
commotion is happening. Like people are
Cars
like
are
dying.
exploding.
People are dying, Lloyd.
So Harry gets the dogs late to the show, and he's like, "Don't worry, the lady's freaking out." This is Lynn
It's
Shay,
Lynn
right?
Shay,
And
yeah.
he's like, "Don't worry. I cut him and clipped him myself.
I know
They're
everything's
pristine."
good. She's like, I don't have time to prep them.
And he opens them up, and they are covered in because why did he have an not even packets of mustard and ketchup?
No.
He kept like the restaurant bottle of
The
mustard
gray
and ketchup
poupon
loose
that he had in his glove
in the
compartment.
grooming van.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, of course, the dogs are
she's
all
like-
coated in mustard and ketchup.
And she goes,
Licks it all off. Give me my rent.
Yep.
So now Lloyd's back at the airport with Mary, and he wants a hug. Oh God! Can I have a hug? Ladies,
where's my hug?
don't hug your driver.
You never have to
You
hug
don't have
anybody.
to hug your driver,
You don't have to hug
especially.
anybody.
And not that long fucking.
Bring it in. Oh, hey, goodbyes.
I'm like goodbyes. Oh my Lord!
I mean, like if he would have gotten a decent back pop.
right? You gonna pop my back while you're
Cool.
all right?
All right.
I need
Well,
one of
then I
them
guess
before I
it
get
was
on the
worth it.
plane.
I mean, I'm not getting on the plane, but I need one of them.
And we see Mary's being followed, and that
Oh.
she's exchanging a suitcase. She's like
She's just leaving it out in the middle of
briefcase.
nowhere. That does not seem like a.
Doesn't seem like a good drop-off spot in the middle of a
No.
crowded airport.
Pre-9/11.
It was pre-9/11.
I get unsecured luggage.
Right? They just land on top of it.
No one's gonna land on top of it. They're just gonna ignore it.
And we don't know why at first, like what kind of shady business she's mixed up in. We just know that these people are talking about picking up this briefcase and she's leaving the briefcase.
And Lloyd is watching as he's driving away, and he sees her.
leave her bag.
Right, and he's like crashes into somebody. Like, goodbye, my love.
And he runs inside and he grabs the bag right before the bad guys.
He,
and
like,
runs down the
swoops
hall.
And tries to catch her, and
He
he's
tries
like,
to go down the skyway.
"You can't go there."
It's okay. I'm a limo driver. Splat. Because the plane
runs
is
right
gone,
off the
sir.
jetway.
The plane is gone.
Well, again, this is in a pre 9/11 world.
You could just run down the jetway.
You could run down whatever you want. You
And
can run wherever the
face
fuck
splat.
you want in the airport at that time.
So, of course, both the boys get fired that day.
Mm-hmm.
They meet up at home in this fucking, I don't know, this slum that they live
I know
in.
it's like a little projects or something.
I
that they're in.
guess. You'd think on the money from a dog groomer and they both have, not full-time jobs, part-time jobs, we
Right.
find out, because they won't accept a full-time job.
No, they.
So who knows how part-time? This was like a 10-hour a week
that's
job.
true. Well, like how much does that shitty apartment cost in like 1994?
Right,
money?
that had to be like at max a $500.
$150. I was
a
like
month.
$150 a month.
$250.
$250 in Rhode Island.
In Rhode Island, yeah, that's right there in Rhode Island.
I don't know what Rhode Island money is
I
like.
don't know
in
Rhode Island
94.
rents.
What's Rhode Island rents? Could we? Anybody live there? Is that another
1994
made
Rhode Island
place?
rents? And they, of course, were Lloyd was followed home by the guys who
Right.
want the briefcase. Well, the guys,
toughs.
the toughs,
The toughs.
and they got that big ass worm farm just in the middle
Oh, I
of their
know.
fucking apartment.
It's almost impressive. But yeah, so they were talking about
Harry spent his life savings turning his personal van into the shaggin wagon.
yes, and he was like, you know what, we should get out of here.
Well, he tells them about the briefcase, and then
Oh,
you hear
yeah.
a knock at the door, and they're like, "Oh fuck, it's like the gas." It's the
Right?
gas
They're
company.
like,
Did you pay
and they
the
got
gas
a
bill?"
gun.
Yeah, it's the gas company. Oh no! And so they go out the window or whatever,
They leave,
and
they
the toughs
bail.
come in and snap the head off his parakeet to send him a message.
He's like, we need to like send him a message and fuck their place up. And Shay's like, I don't think they're gonna get that message. So he's
There's
like,
a worm farm in the middle of the room.
Well, I know what to do.
They coulda
I'm
knocked
gonna
the worm
chop
farm
the
over.
head off of their parakeet.
But like with his bare hands, he like just tore
Oh,
the
I
head
thought
off.
he had a little knife.
Oh, did he have a little knife? I thought he just like.
Oh, I
snapped the head
thought
off.
he had a little knife. I thought
Maybe he
just
did. You know,
beheaded it. Well, I mean, I don't
taking
know
the
what,
notes and trying to watch at the same time.
I don't know what Mental's doing. He's mental.
He's mental.
mental.
And meanwhile, like they didn't just run away from the gas company; they like went looking for a job while they were running from the gas company.
Sure,
Because
why
they
not?
come back like, "Oh, we couldn't find a part-time job anywhere."
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, and they spend their money on BS.
Oh yeah, he was like, "Well, I got to get some stuff." He's like, "Well, we got to get just the bare essentials,
nudie mags.
only the bare essentials: nudie mags, a couple cases of beer, a gigantic cowboy hat, a paddleboard game, and he wants to get a Rhode Island slut."
But he leaves his wallet inside the newspaper machine.
And some little old lady comes by on her little scooter. "Excuse me, ma'am."
Maybe if he hadn't been so rude, she wouldn't have
he's like,
stolen his
you
shit.
know, despite what they say, old people, even though they're slow and dangerous behind the wheel, are good for something.
And so, of course, he comes back and all of his shit's gone. So he comes home
Got
empty-handed.
robbed by an old lady.
And guess what else? My parakeet's head fell off.
What?
It
Well, he was
really
pretty old.
Like, it's not a message if they aren't aware they're involved in
Right.
criminal
They have
plot here.
no clue whatsoever that any of this is happening.
So now Lloyd wants to go someplace warm.
Someplace warm, someplace where the beer flows like wine.
You know,
Where beautiful women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano.
Aspen. But the French are assholes, Lloyd. So one thinks it's in California, the other thinks it's in France.
Whatever. At least one can read, we find out later.
And so he just wants to chase Mary. They discover, like, oh, yeah,
you just
no,
want to
you just wanna
go
chase this lady
and get that girl. So what? So what if I want to get out of here? I'm sick and tired of not having anybody.
He gives his heartfelt speech, and
His
Harry's
Oscar
like, fine,
bait.
yeah, fine, all right.
All right, let it out. Let it out. All right, that's enough. Let's go.
And so on the road in the dog van, Lloyd sold a bunch of stuff to the blind kid next
he was
door
like,
to get
well,
gas money.
they stop at the gas station. He's like, "Oh, where'd you get the snacks?" He was like, "Oh, I sold some stuff before we left."
What'd you sell?
I don't know, like some old
Baseball
dominoes,
cards,
baseball
marbles.
cards, Petey.
My dead parakeet, its
Sold it-
head was missing.
Sold him to the kid in 4C. The blind kid?
And then you see, and I'm
Oh my
sorry,
God.
this kid may be blind, but he knows this bird is dead. Come on
That-
now.
he
It
has
ain't
to
moving.
feel the tape.
It ain't breathing.
Pretty bird. Can
That
you
is the
say pretty
saddest
bird?
thing.
I laughed so hard. at that little blind kid petting that headless bird. And apparently Roger Ebert had the same problem. Like he laughed so hard he was ashamed.
That he laughed at the blind kid with the bird.
Pretty bird. I just thought he was really quiet.
The tape, I know,
around
it's
his,
so
like,
much
duct
tape.
his
Like,
head
come
back.
on now,
At least he
kid.
put the head back on, and this child had no one in their life.
Just be like, put that dead bird down. What are you
I
doing?
mean, like, it took a while for it to reach a current affair. It's a current affair.
Right? That's not current anymore.
It wasn't even current no more. They had already made it all the way to Colorado.
And so the boys take off, but they leave a note to the gas man.
Sorry about the money.
Which Mental thinks is him because he thinks they've been
He's got
following
an
him and he's
ulcer?
got gas from an ulcer.
Right, because it was like, sorry about the money. And they know they have the money. And he was like, he's been following us for months because how does he know I got gas?
And like, why would they have told him where they were going if they were aware that they were coming after their money?
Because these guys are pros.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if
I
they're
don't
pros,
know.
they wouldn't tell you where they went.
Shay and Mental are also Shay and Mental.
Yes, they sure are. So they stop at a truck stop diner. Hey, Flo, what's the soup du jour? It's the soup of the day.
That
I'll
sounds
have that.
good. I'll have that.
So stupid. I don't know who's worse,
I
Flo
know.
or him, because I'm
I
like,
don't
Flo.
know.
When someone asks what's the soup du jour, they don't mean what does it
What
mean
does
in
it mean?
English. What is the
What
soup du jour?
is the
That's like a
soup-
palm frites moment.
Oh, bitch.
If it says soup du jour on the menu, you better just
They're
tell
like,
me the kind
oh,
of soup.
you mean the soup of the day? I bet that would fucking send you right over the goddamn
punch
top.
Flo right in the mouth.
She would have ended up on the news if somebody tells her
My
she saw,
bitch, you know
what's
what
the
I
soup
meant.
du jour? She'd be like, oh, you mean the soup of the day? And Nicole killed somebody.
I just killed somebody in that moment. Bye,
Right?
Flo.
I'd be like, oh, you don't understand. You don't know about the Palms Frites incident.
And then when
like,
she's like-
not a jury in the world. I'd get up there and testify.
Well, I'm sorry if she didn't get killed for this. If I told her my soda was flat and she put her mouth on my straw and blew bubbles into it, I'm kicking her in the pussy. Like, you
I'm
better
get-
back
punting.
away. You better get me a whole new shit right here.
Right? How dare
Double
you
soup
breathe?
du jours on the house.
Soup du jour, soup du tomorrows, and everything,
Do
bitch.
soup du jours.
With a side of Palms Frites.
And how often do you say I like it
A lot.
Like
I like
so
it
much.
A lot. Especially in 1994.
Oh yeah.
1994 to 1995, there ain't nothing else going on.
And Harry spills the salt and Lloyd panics like, oh no. Oh
We
no.
don't need any of this bad luck.
You got to throw some salt over your shoulder, and he
So
throws
just
the
the
fucking
whole salt shaker.
and just bam right into Seabass's head.
Who did that?
And okay, I don't get this whole. He comes over and he spits in the burger, but then he takes the burger. So you're eating your own Hakalugi burger,
It's
Seabass.
my own spit.
But I wouldn't.
How dare
eat a
you make
burger
me
filled
spit
with-
my own spit?
I would not eat a burger filled with my own spit.
No.
I don't want it now.
It's like that Goodfellas moment, like you spit on their own floor.
right on their own floor.
On their own floor.
like animals.
Like animals. I can't believe it. They spit on their own floor.
So yeah, so they get into it with Cam Neely, and he comes over, spits in the burger. So disgusting.
Oh, that's nasty.
And yeah, then he eats his own loogie burger. And Lloyd's like, "Oh well, let's apologize, whatever." He like
Right.
offers to buy them. He goes over and offers to buy them all beers. And they're like, "Okay, whatever." So he goes up to the front, like, "Oh,
Right.
that guy said to put our tab on his tab," and she's like,
Seabass said that?
Really?
This
But when
little
she
goth
looks over,
waitress
he's like-
that's like reading Of Course You're Angry.
But he points
Right,
at
he was
himself,
like, yeah,
like, bring me
whatever.
the check, but he means bring me the Boilermakers or whatever
the
he ordered.
Boilermakers, which what are those? Are those
Isn't
the ones
that the
with
beer
shot
with the
you drop
shot?
in
I
the-
think so, yeah.
And okay, so I also read that this did in fact happen in a movie, and I can't think of what the movie was called, but that movie starred Jeff Daniels, and Jeff Daniels was the one that pulled this prank.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if they caught up with him like half mile down the road and slit
And
his
slit
throat.
his
in the
throat,
movie.
but that's what he
But
says,
he
yeah.
did the this whole thing, like had somebody pay for his shit in a movie that he
Interesting.
did. Yeah.
So they take off and they get partway down the road, and that's when he's like, "Oh, that was a great. Where'd you learn that?" And he's like, "Oh,
Yeah, I
from this
saw it in the
movie." Oh, so they got away scot free?
No, actually, in the movie, they caught up with him a half mile down the road and slit his throat.
And he's like,
I gotta pee.
which, like, what, 1 block away from the restaurant, you have to pee?
Of course.
And he starts pissing in empty beer
Well,
bottles.
he's like,
Which they
"We're
don't
just-"
even drink beer
I
at
know.
any
He
point.
was like, well, no, they did have the cases of beer when he told
oh,
him
that's
just to
right.
buy
But
the
you just don't ever
essentials.
see him getting drunk, really.
Right. So he was like, well, you got to pee in the bottles that we have in this van. Like, I'm not pulling over because Seabass is going to find us.
But he's got a 6-pack worth of pee in him.
Right. He didn't feel like he had to go. Well.
Right? But 6 bottles worth?
He's got them all in his fingers.
Like, maybe you go to the bathroom before you go pull the prank on fucking Seabass. Like,
they're
and have to
dumb.
run. True.
And dumber.
So they get pulled over by Harlan Williams.
My baby.
Pull over.
Oh, no, actually, it's a cardigan, but thank you for asking.
The cop is my dream man for Tessa, Harlan Williams.
The man she dreamed just for me.
And he wants to know about them beers, and he like takes
like,
one, and they're like, no.
No, don't do that. He's like, you shut up right there. You know it's a
You pumpkin
crime.
pie haircutted freak.
Yeah.
And he takes a swig, and they're like, he goes, yeah, does that tick?
Get out of here.
Tic Tac, sir? Hell out of here. So cut to Mary and Aspen finding out that the bag did not get received.
Right, they did not get that money.
And that Bobby, her husband, which she doesn't even say right then, but that Bobby has been kidnapped.
And here comes Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas is here. Nicholas.
Who I guess just works for her dad.
I
He's
guess.
just whatever.
He's just Charles Rocket, baby. He's just wherever he needs to be.
And so they tell Mary, like, no, you just got to act normal, whatever, go party, go ski,
go
like,
out and
don't
do the
tell
things-
anybody what's going on.
Don't let on that anything is amiss here.
So now Lloyd and Harry are still driving. It's nighttime. And Lloyd has this fantasy
Oh, yes.
of returning the briefcase to Mary. And he, of course, gets a peek at them perfect cheeks.
I love the flower girl. She gets like whacked by those pigeon doves. When she opens the door and the doves fly out, they like whack her. They almost knocked that fucking hat right off her head.
And so he has this whole like montage dream.
And then her little fucking that girl hat.
They're in their Christmas sweaters at a party around the fireplace.
And I would not be. Who is enthused by somebody making a mess and lighting farts on fire?
You're like in your 30s
Somebody
or 40s
could
and
have
someone's
gotten
lighting
their
farts.
eyebrows
They're
blown
all wearing
off.
highly flammable sweaters.
Right?
They're
Are
all
they
in like
flame
wool
retardant?
Christmas sweaters. And they're at a fancy dinner. And the waiter starts Gomez Adamsing Lauren Holly, and he's like,
I can't do that. I'm going to fight you. And then he fights the chef, and he
And he,
punches his heart out.
And then the one guy, he like punching bags his balls and bites his balls. I'm just like, what the fuck? So yeah, he rips the chef's heart out, puts it in a doggy bag. And this makeout scene, okay.
Oh, would he like...
What did Lauren Holly do to deserve not only this, but the Ford Fairlane food transfer kiss?
Already dating?
I hope so. Because this was like he swallowed her fucking brain.
He like got in there.
I'm telling you, it was like the Ford Fairlane
he
kiss.
knows
I'm like,
what
what
her
did Lauren
lungs taste
Lauren
like.
Holly like? A real deep.
This is her king.
Is this her king?
Shit, maybe. She's like, suck my heart out.
The script, and she's like, oh, I'll take this.
I will take that role.
My note was, what did Lauren Holly do to deserve this? Question mark.
Right?
Question mark. But
When
I
you
guess if
said
she
that-
was into Jim Carrey, she
when
married
you
him.
said that, I knew that that's what you were talking about because I had already watched that scene and I was like, oh,
Because I was like, Ford Fairlane's gonna come up.
She must be talking about that deep throat smooching scene.
Yep. And then instead of titties, she got headlights because he's about
Headlights?
to crash into
Headlights?
an oncoming car.
Oh no.
So they stop for the night at a sex motel.
At the second honeymoon motel with
And
the
they're-
heart-shaped tub.
They get in the heart-shaped jacuzzi together, and they're listening to the neighbors fuck.
Right? And they're talking about, Harry talks about Frida Felcher.
Oh yeah, that he was dating and was like in love with, and Lloyd gets this look like,
She left me for another guy.
oh really?
You ever find out who it was? No. Never
She
did.
sent me a John Deere letter.
Well, who was it? Or like, did she say what you did wrong? Or what is it that he says? I forget what it is.
I don't know if I wrote it down. I don't think I did.
Well, it doesn't matter. But anyway, Mental's outside
Yeah, they find
in the phone booth. And this fucking guy. What about this dude, this large dude in the
Right?
fucking phone booth with leather gloves on?
You know who that guy is?
Who is that?
He's a college gagajawa.
Oh.
A college goo.
Yes.
Fred Stoller. That's Fred Stoller.
The college
Gagajawan.
Gagajawan. Yes.
So yeah.
But anyway, what about that guy makes you think you're not getting punched.
I know.
In the
Look
fucking
at
phone
his
booth.
size and his face. Why are you?
He's wearing leather gloves. He's trying not to leave fingerprints, sir.
And Fred Stoller weighs 125, soaking wet.
I know, and it's not like even he couldn't have been in there that long. That you're like,
I know he just barely went in the phone booth and started that phone call.
come on.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, the John Deere letter said something about not listening enough, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. I wasn't listening.
Yes. So yeah, he punches him through the glass.
Right,
Knocks him out.
Knocks him the fuck. Probably kills him. He's probably dead.
So now Harry is starting to get worried about gas money.
Right, and he was like, "Well, I bet you."
I don't bet.
Well, come on. What do you mean you don't bet?
I bet I can get you betting by the end of today.
Nope, I won't do it. He was like, I'll give you whatever.
5 to 1, 10 to
Nope,
1.
100 to 1.
All right.
All right.
Deal.
All right.
Oh, I'm gonna get you
you. I don't know how, but I'm going to get you.
You idiot.
I know.
Duff wants to kill them.
Oh, yeah. Let me do them. Let me do both of them.
He's like, no. So he pretends, Mental pretends like the car's broken down.
Right. And he's like, I'm going to get them to pick me up.
And now, if earlier he thought they'd been following them and had named him the gas man, wouldn't
Right.
they recognize the fucking gas man if he thought they
Girl.
were pros?
They're all
all
dumb,
dumb.
and dumber.
So he asked for a ride and like, well, we don't usually pick up hitchhikers, but,
But I like the cut of your jib.
settle up, partner.
Who was he in Cabin Boy? What was his name?
Oh, Mental?
Yeah.
Oh,
The big guy.
what is his name?
Oh, it doesn't
can't
matter.
remember.
It doesn't
Kim will look it up.
matter.
So they hitch a ride. He hitches a ride, and they immediately start being annoying as fuck.
They're playing
Yeah.
tag.
Yeah, no, they-
They're first they're playing tag and like no stamp sees, no back sees, no triple stamp and double stamp. You can't triple stamp and double stamp.
You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Ah! And that I guess was an ad lib. Like nobody knew that he was gonna do that. And
And he's like, let's turn on the radio.
what do we
Who
need
needs
the
a
radio for? You ready here?
Ready?
Mock.
Yeah.
Ing.
Yeah.
Bird.
Yeah.
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 Mockingbird. The mockingbird is a word.
And he's like about to shoot them.
I know.
And then they
And-
suddenly pick up an entire Mexican family.
Right. They
who's
pick up what
hitchhiking.
appears to be a microfamily. Mock. See. Ing. See.
And they head over to Dante's Inferno for a bite
the
to eat.
hottest food in the Mississippi.
And they're daring each other to eat the pepper. And he's like, come on, pussies, like, fucking eat the pepper.
Both of you, because he's had it. He's had it with these two. He's going to go use the phone.
Mulligan was his name.
A
in
mulligan,
Cabin
that's
Boy.
right.
Okay.
Not mental mulligans.
So they each eat the pepper and at first they're like, well,
Yeah, no, it's fine. And then they start screaming and gagging with the mustard
spitting
and
and
the
fucking
ketchup.
squirting condiments into their mouths.
Come on.
And
Come
Mental's, he's going to poison them.
Right,
He's got
he was
rat
like-
poison ready.
He's already on the phone he's like, yeah, this is going to be their last meal. I got rat poison.
And how are they so magically clean when he comes back and not covered in ketchup and mustard?
I don't know, but they're over there sticking little chilies in his burger.
They fill his burger with chilies. And they're telling him about the briefcase and he like how they just
Right,
are
they're
going
like-
to return this briefcase they found.
Right.
And he's like,
you didn't ever
shit.
even opened it? You don't even know
You don't
what's
even
in there?
know. You're not even part of this.
Talk
Ha!
about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And he eats his burger and like
He starts sweating like Christian Bale.
on cue. So he like, give me my pills,
Lloyd's trying to do CPR.
Oh my God. He's like, this works a lot better if you don't fight and you just lay back.
And they give him the pills, and of course, it's not his ulcer pills.
It's the rat poison. He died.
check, please.
Check, please.
And now is actually a pretty good time to take a break.
Oh, check, please.
We'll be right back. And we're back.
We're back, and the police are on the scene. The porkies, the filth.
And they find that rat poison right away, and now they're
Right.
after the 84 sheepdog too.
Yes, they were headed west towards Colorado, and he's like, "What's the vehicle?" He's like, "It's an '84 sheepdog." I don't know. We're not gonna have any trouble finding it.
So they make a pit stop, and Lloyd is in the men's room, and he's there at Manly Love Hours.
Oh yes, if you're here for Manly Love, be here March 25th.
specifically
at 2:15 a.m. And sure enough,
that's the time.
it must be March 25th, and he is there at 2:15.
And he locks himself in the stall, but it don't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's like getting rattled and whatever. And outside,
Harry meets this cute girl at the
he's at the pump or whatever, and he's filling up. He's like, "Those skis yours? Both of them?
Both of them? Nice. Cool.
Yeah. And she's like,
she's trying so hard to flirt with him, and he's like,
I know,
so
but
dumb.
like it makes what happens later so weird. The way that she talks to both of them.
She's just trying to get them to like clue her in on what's happening. I
guess, but like she's not making it very like you'd want to.
Yeah, I know. Oh, my ex-boyfriend.
My boyfriend
blah, blah,
was
blah,
such a klutz. I'm gonna have to break up with my boyfriend and like
stop mentioning your boyfriend.
I know. Just get on your skis, girl.
And he like pours gas everywhere. And I thought when he goes to light or smoke, he was gonna
causes
light the whole
a fire?
fucking car, but he just lights
Just his
himself on
pants.
fire.
He's like, "Give me the number."
Yes.
And she was like, "Okay, if you're gonna be pushy."
And Lloyd's about to get like raped by
I know.
Seabass in the stall.
Seabass is the one that's there. So all the way from
wherever
they were, all the way to almost Colorado.
Seabass set up his manly love hours all the way over
right?
here.
Is that how come he was so precise?
Maybe
he knows
he
when
goes diner to diner or like gas station to gas station.
He's the happy face killer.
For manly love hours.
Yep.
All over the state.
All over the country. He's like one of those trucker killers where they get away with it forever because they're mobile.
But he's rescued by Harry, who comes running into the stall to
put
dip his foot out in the toilet and knocks Seabass unconscious.
This is like the third movie that year, or the second movie at least that year, that he was like crouched down in a bathroom sucking his thumb.
Right? And the fact that Harry thinks it's hilarious that he almost got raped is pretty sad.
I know.
Like,
He was like,
giving
just
him a
stop
hard time."
talking about it. See, this is why men don't tell us about their feelings.
Because they get teased. So the FBI already has the roadblock up, and Harry's teasing Lloyd about almost getting raped. Not cool.
know.
And Lloyd's too busy messing with sleeping Harry and goes the wrong way.
Oh, well, okay. So first, there was already a blockade. Harry tells him, he's like, you know what? I don't have the energy to start another state. Let's stop. Let's switch. And then whatever. And that's where they go in. Lloyd comes out. He's like, big gulps, huh? All right. And those people were not even in the movie until
just
they were
people
in the
parking
movie.
lot.
Like they had to put him in the movie because Jim Carrey just talked to these people.
Like, great, now this is a scene in the movie.
Right, now I'm going to have to like get a waiver and pay them for their time. So he gets back in the shaggin wagon and Harry's already asleep. So he's like, oh, some people just aren't cut out for the road. And he takes off the other direction.
Like, fully is not paying attention to the clear road signs.
He's
marked.
trying to plug Harry's nose. He's fucking with him while he's asleep. So he takes off the other direction.
To Nebraska.
5 hours.
Harry wakes up pissed, like, what the fuck?
We can't get home. We can't get to Colorado. We can't eat. We can't sleep.
And he just starts walking home.
He's like, I'm walking home.
So
John Denver was full of
Yeah, John Denver was full of shit. I thought these Rocky Mountains would be more rocky.
Right?
Like it's flat.
It's just completely flat.
So I love that. John Denver was full of shit.
So Harry's hitching a ride when you hear coming up the road. And here comes Lloyd. And you don't ever see... I want to see the interaction in which he traded...
where he traded all of this shit.
Because there's nothing wrong with the van except for it was out of gas. And you traded it straight across for this little scooter?
Yeah.
Not even with some cash?
1984 sheepdog.
Come on now.
For a Taco 200.
And they're headed to Aspen.
Yes.
On this little scooter. And at first you think Harry's about to be really pissed.
He's like, you know what? You do some of the stupidest shit, and then you do something like this, and totally redeem yourself.
Let's head out to Aspen.
Oh my God. They're all like, there's all these, it's travel montage times on this tiny little Taco 200.
And Harry's got to pee, and they don't have time to stop.
Oh, because it's cold. He's like, just go.
And I was just saying to her off mic in between, Farrelly Brothers and the pee and poop jokes.
I know. They love the pee-pees and the poo-poos.
The pee-pees and the poo-poos. Mm-hmm. Everything about pee-pees and poo-poos is funny.
They know Terrence Stamp, don't they?
They do.
They know Mitch,
they're related.
too, I bet.
Mitch, Terrence, Farrelly Brothers. They're all related.
They all know the poo-poo.
Side-eye. And then when they stop... Well, first they get into town with the snot sickles.
Oh, yes.
Fucking-
The little boogers all frozen to their face. They're like struggling to get up this hill. Ugh. All these cars behind him, and they pull into the town square with these little, and he gets off the little scooter, and like Harry's frozen to his back.
by his own piss, presumably.
Oh, I'm sure, because that had to have, it had crystallized.
So did they get in the shower together to clean up?
Oh, probably.
And they clean up and they hit the town.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at the butt on that.
Yeah. He must work out.
It's like a couple walking by. And
There
they
was
realize-
a couple of decent poopers on
Right?
those people.
So Harry realizes quickly that Lloyd does not know where in this town to find Mary or what
No.
her last name is.
No, do you know where she is? What her last name is? No, I forgot. As
some of the S.
Slippy, Slappy, Swenson,
It was on the
Swanson.
briefcase.
Samsonite. I was
Oh.
way off.
She's not listed though.
Of course not. She's not in the phone book.
So they don't know what to do and they almost freeze because they have no money. So they're just like
Right.
camping by a lake
'cause
out in the
he's like,
open.
oh, as soon as she like finds out it's us, she's gonna take us in, and everything's gonna be cool. But of course, because they can't find her, they end up in a park, and he's freezing. He's like, my hands are so numb.
Oh, maybe
And
you should use these extra gloves.
You had extra
My
gloves.
hands are starting to sweat.
Yeah, it's the Rockies.
I'm gonna kill you.
So they fight and they're tussling.
Right? As he's strangling him.
I
Your
know.
hands are freezing.
Your hands are freezing. The briefcase gets thrown and it pops open. They notice it's full of money, cash
Oh
monies,
shit.
cash money millionaires.
We'll just take a small loan and leave
Right.
IOUs. We're
We'll
good
take-
for it.
We'll take really good account of every penny, and we're good for it, right? You know, just a small little, just to get by tonight.
Cut to them checking into the presidential suite.
At the Stanley Hotel.
Oh yeah, that's right. And renting was it a Ferrari, a Lambo? What was that?
I don't know. I feel like it was a Lamborghini.
And a new wardrobe,
Oh,
a
they
shopping
go-
spree.
These boots. The little
Those
fuzzy
furry boots. Passing out $100 tips to
Here you
everybody
go.
who walks by.
Here you go. Here
Laying
you
in
go.
bed crying, watching a Pac Bell
Do
commercial,
you remember
wiping
with
their
Jonathan
eyes with
Brandis?
vaguely, yes.
And
the
do you
Pac
remember
Bell.
that being a thing though? Like the long
Oh, the long distance were always
where
ones that
like
made you cry.
made you cry.
Yep.
Come
It
on.
always came on around the holidays, like
It
grandma
was
who you
long
can't get
distance
to.
commercials and like credit card commercials where it was like spend your money on credit and you could see grandma like
Right.
maybe for the last time.
And Lloyd finds Mary in the paper.
Oh, this is her,
She's hosting an event tomorrow.
Mary Swanson.
I don't know what happened. We both just stopped at the same time.
Because he says her name. And I don't know why you thought that meant something.
I don't
It was
know.
just her name.
And I was like, ooh, Mary Swanson. You don't say.
She looked at me and I was like, oh, I panicked.
That's all I got.
was like, that was it.
And so now it's the get ready montage.
Oh, yes. They're looking for a tux. They're getting pedicures.
Oh, these toenails.
the hooves.
How did he put shoes on?
I know.
Is there like shoes 4 sizes too big?
Yes, he must have been.
So yeah, they get their orange and blue tuxedos and top hats.
Of course, they go down, arriving by carriage.
And they sword fight with their canes in
They
the entrance.
cannot behave
No.
not for a moment in this grown-up $500 a plate, apparently, because Nikki is like, excuse me.
$500 a plate.
And they're
you
like,
can go
here,
now.
we'll take 4. Here's some cash.
Right?
And Shay is like, whoa, hey,
That's them. Yeah. They noticed them come
Those are
in.
the
Those are the
guys.
guys.
the guys. It's them. They're here.
And so they're checking out the ladies. Look at
Oh.
the fun bags on that hose hound.
Wow. They were like talking about we need to be classy and have
Yeah,
an
and that's
air
the
of
first thing he
sophistication. She's
says.
like, whoa.
I'd like to eat her liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. And the event commences.
Oh, and there's like we have
Icelandic snow owls.
to, well, that was it Mary's dad?
Right, runs this foundation and
Right.
whatever. They're trying to save this endangered
The
species.
Preservation Society or whatever. And he was like, yeah, we've been presented with these Icelandic
snow
hoot
owls.
owls.
Yeah.
Hoot
So Lloyd
owls.
finds Mary, but he's nervous that she's
Right.
going to think he's a psycho. She's like, Harry, go build me up.
Right. You go over there and talk to her and talk me up. And then I'll be over here at the bar putting out the vibe.
So he goes up. Nice set of hooters got there.
What?
The owls.
Oh,
And he starts talking about Oh, I worked with dogs and we made
Well,
it
he
a
was like,
bulldog
I
with a
used-
Shih Tzu.
He's like, I used
Called
to
it a
have
bullshit.
I used to have a bird, but his head fell off.
Yes.
But now I'm into canines mostly, like, clipping them, grooming them, breeding them sometimes. She's like, oh, any unusual breeding? He's like, yeah. We once successfully mated a bulldog with a Shih Tzu. We called it a bullshit.
So Terry Garr comes up. She's stepmom.
Oh, yes, this is my stepmother. And she's like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow?
Right?
Strange
But
person.
she loves a funny man.
Oh, yeah, this Tux is hysterical.
Why
It's
don't you go ski
fabulous.
with my stepdaughter?
Right? She's like,
And he's trying to bring up Lloyd, but this is all happening so fast.
He's all hanging out at the
'Cause,
bar.
yeah,
putting
he's
his
over there
little
just like.
cheekies out. He's got his little cane.
So he goes back and tells Lloyd he got him a date with her, but really, he's the one with the date.
Of course, he's going skiing with her tomorrow.
And so he pops some bubbly to celebrate and immediately kills an endangered snowy
This
owl
calls
from
for a bit
across
of the
room.
bubbly. Pop. I know, and then, Nikki's out there talking about
It's a message.
it's a message. They killed our
Bird for a
bird.
bird.
We killed a bird for a bird.
They're experts.
Yeah, they're pros.
So Harry gets ready for his date in his sexy Flanders ski fit.
That's exactly what I wrote. I was like, why is he dressed like stupid,
sexy
sexy Flanders? It's like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Like, oh, that's pretty revealing.
Like the shark helmet. And he comes in there wearing the skis.
Yes.
It's so dumb.
So he's trying to tell Lloyd, but you don't even know her. Maybe she's not your type.
Right. I don't know what happened or whatever.
And Lloyd flips out. She's the love of my life.
Well, no, first after they have the whole thing, this is after the skiing date, right? They have the whole skiing date. They go
so they meet. He tells her meet in the lobby bar at 10 o'clock. And so Harry
that's right. He goes down there early.
puts his
and the
little
guy's
shorts over his lump because Lloyd's oh, pretty revealing. Knocks all the skis over going in to meet her. And then Lloyd puts on his Southwest finest.
Right. He's dressed as Walker, Texas Ranger.
For a 10 a.m. bar date.
Yeah. And the bar's not even open.
No.
The restaurant's not even open. He's like, can I just sit at the bar? He's like, yeah, sure. That's fine.
And then cut to Harry and Mary on the ski lift.
Harry,
and he
Mary.
sticks his
Mary,
tongue
Harry.
to the pole. And
I
she
get stuck. She's like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to ski.
Yeah, he just goes around and around on the ski lift.
Until she finds him later on with his tongue still
Yeah, and
stuck.
rips it off.
They have taken that whole booth off of the ski lift
to
for
get him off of there, yeah. And Harry, meanwhile, Harry's cutie from the gas station sits down next to Lloyd in the bar.
Yes, exactly. She shows up and again is talking about her boyfriend.
her
and he's like,
ex-boyfriend,
I
whatever.
don't care.
Leave me alone.
Well, because he asked the bartender, is it 10 a.m. yet? And he's like, it's 1.
Oh, she's running a little bit late. You know.
Yeah,
how
you
they
know
like to make
women
men
when they're
wait.
excited about something.
So Harry and Mary build a snowman, and she hands him the coal and the carrots to make its face.
He makes a dick and balls instead.
Of course. And then they have a snowball fight that gets real serious.
He nearly kills her
He's
on this.
smothering her in the
And
snow.
she laughs.
She's like,
Oh, that was really funny. You trying to kill me like that out in the middle of nowhere where no one can hear me scream, Harry.
And Lloyd asked the bartender, does he know Mary Swanson? And he's like, yeah, she comes in here all the time.
To eat.
Because
he's getting upset that she's in there all the time.
And he asks where she lives, and he just tells him, stranger, weirdo, who's been sitting at the bar for
Sure,
hours.
all morning waiting for her to show up. He's like, yeah, they're in that big place up on Ass Ridge Drive or whatever the fuck he says.
So he sees Harry pulling up in the sports car to bring Mary home from the date.
And
he's,
this
of
is
course,
that meme I
devastated.
use all the time of him.
Yeah, he can't handle it. He gags. Gag meme, I wrote. Because, yeah, that's the gag meme.
The gag meme. I always thought that was from Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh, no, I think because of the hair, I knew it was from this.
I don't know. Because it was the cowboy hat and the Western wear that threw me off, I guess.
So they both play dumb, like they don't know what's going on when they meet back in the hotel. And he's like,
Harry's
oh,
like,
she must have
maybe
meant
10 p.m. Why would she ask for a 10 a.m. bar meeting? I thought she was a raging alcoholic.
So Lloyd fills an entire teacup with Turbo Lax to give to Harry.
So much Turbo Lax. He's like, well, it sounds like you got your night plan. I'm I'm gonna go in town and catch a flick.
Yeah.
Let's have a good luck toast.
Yeah, let's have a tea toast.
A tea toast for two.
And he like tips up the cup, makes
know,
him
he's like,
drink a big old gulp
drink
of it.
more.
And Harry then also puts on his Southwest finest to
Right.
go out on this date. I
He
don't know, what
puts
is it
his-
about Aspen that you think this is the look? I guess
He
that's
puts
what was
on
for
his
sale.
Jack Burton moccasin, knee-high moccasin boots.
There you go.
How does he get his hair so frizzy?
I don't know. His hair is crazy.
I know that.
Oh, what is it? How does he
They
get his hair
told
so
him
crazy?
not to. They told him to wash his hair, but don't condition it, don't blow dry it, just let it air dry, and don't brush it.
Oh, okay. So it was just
So it
ratty.
was just a straight
Must have
wash.
been, like, electrifying everybody.
A straight wash and an air dry is what that was.
So on his way out, his guts started bubbling
Oh, he hears it
right away. But he seems okay when he first gets to Mary's house. Just
Right.
for a minute, he seems all right. He's
Right,
like, oh,
he's
hello,
fine.
hello. And then when she goes to get her shit, he's like, oh. And he runs and finds a bathroom without telling her. and
Locked
we
door.
have the famous,
Locked door.
The
Bathroom.
famous scene of him shitting his brains
Oh
out.
my God, the sound. I can feel the sound.
So wet. I can't make that sound with my mouth because it was so wet.
Oh, like that.
Yeah. I've never had to do a both feet up in the air.
No,
shit.
I've never had to take both feet up
can't-
off the ground.
I'm trying to
I mean,
remember.
unless you
I'm
talk
doing it right
about
now, you guys.
like the
Not
squatty
shitting.
potty. I
My
have a
feet in the
squatty
air.
potty, but never have I like lifted of my own
No.
on my own power.
That face.
Like he almost launched off the toilet by the power of his own diarrhea.
Oh, like it's his guts would turn inside out.
How he didn't get an Oscar.
And then as soon as he
Right?
gets some relief, she walks up to the door like,
What are you doing in there? I
I
hope,
hope
you're
you're
not,
not using that bathroom.
the toilet's broken.
I was just shaving.
Shaving.
Cut to Lloyd cackling on the scooter. 'cause
Right.
He doesn't know, but he knows. And then a current affair. The Menendez brothers.
I know. It was
just-
like the Menendez
oh, wow,
brothers
okay.
lawyer. And then this heartbreaking story out of Rhode Island about
The
little
blind kid with the
blind
dead
kid that
parakeet.
got sold a headless parakeet. I just thought he was really quiet.
So Lloyd rings Mary's doorbell, and she does not
Right.
remember him. He's like,
No.
"Oh, it's me," and she's like,
Oh.
He's like, "Remember I took you to the airport?"
Oh, Lloyd, right?
And then when he's like, "Lloyd," she's like, "Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah,
I
and
remember from the airport."
Right.
Okay.
He's like, I have your briefcase. I brought it to you, but I have it at the hotel. Like, holy shit. I gotta go. So she knocks
so
on the
Harry's
door.
desperately trying to fix the toilet and ends up unhooking the whole thing. It's like there's
He
bolts.
unbolted.
What did he do that with his
the
teeth?
bolt in desperate times, bitch.
And tries to dump the whole toilet
he
bowl out the
can't
window.
just throw. He can't just take a something and put it
Right,
in
like
a
a
cat
cup
box.
or a like. Is there nothing under the sink you could scoop it with or something?
But also, it's all snowy outside.
It is
I
snowy. You're
know,
gonna
it's
see
like
the big
frozen
steaming
shit.
diarrhea out in the
Ooh.
snow.
Well, by now it's cold. It's
Probably.
been in the
It's
bowl
been a
for
minute.
while.
Probably down the side of the house.
Oh, it's like on the second floor.
So he's still dealing with this, and she's like, "I gotta go.
Right,
Sorry,
it's
bye."
an emergency. Like, I'm so sorry. We'll do this again.
So Lloyd takes her to the hotel and races her upstairs, fucking shoving her down in the process.
He races her up the thing. He trips, so he pulls her down.
Yes.
I'm surprised she didn't like this too. And
she-
thought it was charming, just like Harry trying to fucking drown her in the snow.
And she's like, "You drove 2,000 miles just for me."
Yeah.
So sweet.
I love that. That's
I don't
cute.
know about that.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
so she like uses the bathroom before checking this case.
Right?
Casual in this this grand hotel room.
And he's rehearsing his love confession, and when she comes out, he's like all frazzled.
I
He's like,
desperately want to make love to a schoolboy.
I mean, I like you, Mary. I like you. I like you.
I like her a lot.
I think you're freaky, and I
Like you a lot. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot.
So he asks his chances, and she's like, "Not good."
She's like 1 in 100?
No.
More like 1 in a million.
So you're telling
So
me
you're
there's a
saying there's a chance. Yes!
And here's a knock at the door. It's Nicholas.
Nicholas!
News about her. Nicholas.
Nicholas!
News about her husband. Oh, and a gun.
Oh, no.
Oh, you got my briefcase. And she's
It was
like,
you.
"Ugh."
That briefcase belongs to me. She's like, it was you.
So they open the briefcase, and guess what? It's all IOUs.
But those are just as good as cash money because we have taken meticulous records We intend to pay back every penny.
And Harry comes back to the hotel and finds them handcuffed to the bed.
Well, first he comes back up through and he gets Beth, the FBI agent. It's like, hey, Harry.
Right.
You never called. Mm-hmm. So he comes up like, hey, I'm back. Whatever. And he
gets
finds
cuffed
them
next to
tied
them.
up to the bed. Well, he's not. He's just on the bed.
Oh,
he
he just
gets up.
sits
He
there.
like lays there, whatever. Like he's not tied up, but they're handcuffed to the bed. Nicholas is making arrangements to go to Iceland or somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. And she's like, Mary's like, how do you guys know each other? We used to be best friends.
Yeah. And he was like, you think I didn't know about Frida Felcher, Mr. French Teklar?
So when Nicholas comes in getting ready to shoot them, Lloyd offers to be shot first.
Right. Like, this was all my fault. I got you into this mess. Shoot me first. He's like, no. Shoot me first. And they argue over who's getting shot.
And Nicholas ends up shooting Harry. And Lloyd's like, you killed my best friend, you bastard.
Right.
But then Harry pops up shooting. You're like, what the fuck?
And he cannot. He has a terrible shot.
No, he misses.
Harry,
Yeah.
you're alive. And you're a terrible shot.
And then here comes the cute girl from the gas station because she's an FBI agent.
The FBI busts down the door and arrests Nicholas.
They had intercepted Harry and put a bulletproof vest on him and gave him a gun.
But what if they shot you in the face?
His face just like, did not consider that.
What if they would have shot me in the face? That was a risk we're willing to take.
So the bad guys are arrested. Her husband is still alive, and Lloyd imagines murdering him.
Oh, well, yeah, the husband shows up and he's got a gun. Ah!
But he just shakes his hand real hard instead
Right.
in real
It's
life.
nice to meet you.
So then they're out on the road to my house. Did you notice? It was all like Joshua trees on the side. And the Hawaiian Tropic Bikini Tour.
Right? They're walking home because now they have no ride, no
Right.
money, no nothing. Like everything is gone. So they have to walk all the way back home.
But the Hawaiian Tropic Bikini Tour bus stops.
We need a couple of oil boys to grease us up before competition.
And they just point them to the nearest
You're
town.
in luck. There's a town about 3 miles that way. I'll bet you find some guys there.
But then Lloyd realizes as they pull away.
Do you realize what you have
He
done?
chases them down.
The
Sorry,
town
my friend's
is back
slow.
that way.
We'll catch a break too. Just got to keep our eyes open.
Man, 2 lucky guys are going to be traveling the world or the nation with those.
Do you
hot
think they
bikini
ever
girls.
realized? Do you think like a month later they sat up in bed like, fuck,
Wow.
we could have been
No,
the oil boys.
They would have been dead by then because they had to walk back from
Right? Did
Colorado
they ever
to Rhode
make it?
Island. No.
Did you ever watch Dumb and Dumber? I never did.
No,
Is
I
it
never
bad?
did.
I was
It's a
so
prequel, is it
excited.
not?
I went to go see it in the theater. And
Yeah.
I walked out after.
Oh,
Oh,
was
really?
That
It
bad?
was that bad?
It was like super racist.
Who is it?
Oh, super racist.
Ew. Who's in that movie? I don't even know.
Like 2 random dudes.
Just 2 young, nobodies, I think.
Some young guy?
Cream of?
Cream of. Some
Question
young
mark?
guy, comma, cream of.
Yeah, so we've got 2 more episodes coming in December.
Well, 2 more episodes of the year, but one of them's not really
And that'll be the next one, right?
That's the next one. Coming up next, we got a clip show. We've been doing this enough time that we got a
have
clip
assembled
show.
a clip show for y'all so that we can take
It's
a little
clip
Christmas
show.
break.
It's a clip show.
And while we're taking a break, you guys should send us the gift of your messages.
Yes.
Send us a text message or a voicemail to 702-720-DOOM.
Good greetings, Christmas cheer, holiday cheer.
Send us an email to doomgenerationpodcast@gmail.com.
Do it.
Join our Patreon.
Oh, that would be a nice gift.
Patreon.com/doomgeneration. We have, if you just want to give us like a little bit of money, but you don't want to monthly subscribe, we got
Right.
one of them Ko-Fi accounts.
Oh, hey, that's right. That's new.
It's like Ko-Fi/DoomGenPod. So if you just want to give us $5 and that's it, here's
You wanna give us
$5.
a
Merry
tip?
Christmas. You can just send it there. You don't want to
Right.
sign up for nothing.
And again, we are going to try to get some extra content.
Yeah, we are going to try to get some extra content. We have a thing recorded, but we haven't listened back to it.
No.
where we talk about the substance.
Yeah, we talk
But I'm
about
a little
couple new
worried that
things.
we went on for maybe too long about the substance.
I don't know. I
haven't
don't know.
listened
We have
back
to listen
yet.
to it. Well, by the time we recorded that, we were well drunk.
Right. And so that may be the first thing that I may have to heavily
I
edit
know.
before we release it for it to
I
be
don't know.
entertaining.
We'll
Because I think
see.
we just went on and on and on about
We
the
went
substance for like 45 minutes.
Orf about the substance.
We enjoyed the substance.
We really liked
so.
it. So we talked about that a lot.
So yeah, we hope you guys. Well, we'll do one more. We'll wish them happy holidays in
Yeah,
the intro
we'll
to the
do it.
next one or something.
Sure,
but we'll be
we'll do
back
it.
before the end of the year
There's
with
a lot of
another
holidays
full
between then and then.
episode. And until next week.
We'll talk at you next time.
Later,
Doomers.